are some of the things I would do if I really want to get my story out personally? There's a whole laundry list of things that we might do to create a superstar out there around the concept of the story. Can you just give me a brief overview of some of those things?
Well, there's lots of tools you can use to get your story out. Some people are using personal blogs as a way to connect with their customers in a more personal way. Using traditional media is a great avenue too, because if you use traditional media and a journalist interviews you on a TV or a radio show, or a journalist writes up a story about you in a magazine or a newspaper article, to the consumer, that's a third-party endorsement of you. It's not you taking out an ad and saying, look, this is what we did. So that's another way that you can get your message out. Social networking sites is a way that you can connect with people personally. All these tools online, to really get your story out there, through audio and video. But even traditional grassroots is still a great way to interface with your consumers and, to let them see that you're a real person. One of the greatest examples we have is we have a client we worked with for about 10 years, and he's an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what company he starts or gets going, he is always on the ground level. He's always accessible to the consumers, and that's what makes the product really genuine, is that he is showing up at the Whole Foods and talking to people about, his product, or he's, at a park somewhere and telling people about it. And people like that accessibility. They like to be able to interact.
Yeah, that's a great point. Accessibility, getting out there, getting your face out there, speaking when you can, articles, writing, just videos like this get the word out in an easy way. So I'm with you 100%. Let's shift gears a little bit. One of the biggest concerns I hear from CEOs or passionate entrepreneurs is the whole concept of ROI when it comes to marketing. And I know it's a tough subject because since it's not like direct response, you can't really track the benefits, directly. Speak to that. What are some of the things as a CEO I should be thinking about in terms of making sure I'm getting a bang for my buck if I invest in PR?
Yeah, this is probably the most popular question that we get is, how do I measure return on investment with a PR campaign? And I always tell people it's really challenging. Publicity is not a direct response mechanism. You can't go on a TV interview and just say, okay, now you're going to call this phone number, and then we can measure it that way. So it's very challenging. It's really difficult. And the other thing about publicity is that it's an uncontrollable medium. So you can put something out there and you're at the mercy of the media on how they position it and whether or not they get out your website. So it's uncontrollable in that sense. In general, you can look at things like product sales and overall, buzz of your company. Are people aware of who you are? Sometimes with public relations, it can take several years to build because your story can take several years to build in the media. The national media, they're not always interested in covering your story unless they know that you've been covered by more local media first, because they are also concerned about ratings and circulation and that sort of thing, and they want to make sure whatever story they're reporting on is already popular in the general public. So sometimes it can take several years to build, but I do know this, that with clients that we work with, if they ever take a break from publicity, they tend to come back because they always say, I can't really explain it, but our sales dipped, and the only thing that we changed was we stopped getting out there and talking about our product through the media. And so it's really important to stay out there, and whenever that big story breaks or something really hits, if you're already out there and your message is already out there, you're going to be part of that story.
Absolutely.
If you're not putting yourself out there, the media doesn't know who you are.
Right.